What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's
Welcome
good,
back
y'all?
to another episode of Over the Counter Podcast. We are the good brothers of
Hmm.
OTC. Apologies for being late. Had some issues that I had to take care of real quick, so that is on me. But we here. We here. We're gonna have another good show. We have a few things to talk about. We got some numbers that we want to discuss. We want to
Hmm.
discuss the efficacy, how efficient the Department of Government Efficiency has been since its inception. Of course, we're going to hit some charts. We had our first live charting session in our Discord this morning, and it was pretty good. We had some questions. Hopefully, as people kind of get in there, they ask more questions. So we'll definitely touch on some charts, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. So, first things first, we got some pretty interesting numbers that will probably dictate how the market moves this week. Um, Economic data comes out. Surprisingly, or not surprising, they're not releasing October numbers, October job numbers,
Nope.
which low key speaks volumes. Um, I don't know, dog. Like if them numbers got to be abysmal if they not willing
I
to release
mean,
those.
I don't know how true it is that they just don't have the numbers, but I guess we'll just rock out with that. I mean, Tuesday they gonna be coming out with PPI, retail sales, ADP unemployment change, uh, business inventories, pending home sales, stuff like that. And then we also got Wednesday, we got durable goods orders, GDP, and some other little stuff. And then, of course, Thursday and Friday, markets are closed. But Friday, the Feds will be rebalancing the balance sheet. So those PPI numbers will be interesting to see where we are with that. Because even as recent as this weekend, I've seen headlines come across my X feed that the economy is doing great and it is stronger than ever, and the numbers were are better than people are. I don't know. I don't. Where's this booming economy and strong labor market and resilient consumer they talking about?
I got my confirmation signal that job numbers are full of crap this past week. So for the past 2 months, my entire department at my job has been on edge because we knew there was a reorg coming. And 2 weeks ago, Thursday, in fact, they laid off damn near half of the IT department. So that's people of all ages, people in all types of positions. So that lets me know that the economy is not as good as they say it is.
Now, is this just playing devil's advocate? Because this might some people may think, is this an economy thing or is this a byproduct of AI?
No, actually, for us, it was not a byproduct of AI. In fact, it was very much so an economic thing. They mentioned headwinds in the baseline business, which basically just means your common denominator on your moneymaker is not
Mhm.
making the type of money that you're used to making. Your bread and butter is not making the money that you're used to making. And most of the money that they had available, they're investing in newer revenue generating opportunities, which won't necessarily see a return and for another year or so. So money is tight on top of how expensive things are, new projects, things of that nature. So that kind of let me know that when your baseline business is not bringing the type of bread in that you're used to seeing, obviously there's some other things that may be happening with that. But in combination of needing to pay a pretty large workforce, but you're not making as much, you got to start making cuts in certain areas. So
Is is your sector affected at all by tariffs?
not really,
Okay.
not really. No, I can't.
Alright.
I can't really see how we would be impacted with that in particular. But nonetheless, it was a very stressful last couple of months. I mean, I didn't even know if I was gonna have a job. I'm just being honest with you. So thank God. But all that did was let me know, hey,
Boy, you can be you escape this one. And trust me, I'd have
Right.
been in my sector. I didn't already survived two layoff sessions, so I already know how it be, man. But that's why you gotta have
Got to have
other,
multiple things going.
yeah,
Got
because
to.
you ain't never safe for no job,
Nah,
never.
nah. There's no such thing as stability. I want y'all to know that right now. There is no such thing as stability when you depending strictly on a 9 to 5. I'm not knocking 9 to 5s. I'm just saying they don't always equate to stability, especially when you have hard economic times. So that was my indicator personally that, oh,
Yeah.
it really is not sweet outside like they saying it's supposed to be.
Well,
So
I just don't know how you on top of. I told you, you said you told me this. This happened to your company last week. It did a week before. The feds came, did a sweep, and laid off half of our management where I work. So we got management that's been there for
right.
years. Long there was there when I came in almost 8 years ago, getting walked out by security like peons. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Out the
bro.
blue. So I
It's
mean,
I don't know. It's never a good thing. So like that's what I mean by like there's no way that these government officials are looking outside or taking a step outside to actually see what's really going on. I really think a
okay.
lot of it is theatrics.
So they also say this that companies aren't downsizing due to economic factors. Companies are downsizing to become more efficient and to increase margins. What do you say to that?
Bro, I think that's a bunch of BS, honestly. I honestly think so
Yeah.
because of who they laid off personally. And this is my personal experience. I can't speak
Hmm.
for all sectors, but just looking at who they laid off some really good talent, some people who were some pioneers in a lot of different strategical efforts. Yeah, there may have been a few mixed in that were some troublemakers and low performers, but at the same time, there's maybe like two names out of the people that they got laid off that I was kind of like, that doesn't really make any sense. But okay, so there's that. I don't think it's to be more efficient. Think it in my situation, it was literally because the paycheck we used to seeing ain't hitting. It ain't hitting. So from a wider enterprise perspective. So I don't know if that's necessarily every company that's been going through a lot of this. A lot of companies have been saying, "Oh, the advancements in AI have been the cause of a lot of layoffs." Which I'm sorry, but AI ain't that advanced yet. I mean, I use it every day, and I can tell you, yes, it can do a lot of things, but at the same time, I don't think it's really to the point where it can replace entire human capital, human workforces just yet. So I think that's just a nice, convenient cover up, in my opinion. But hey, you really don't know. It'll be interesting to see how, we at the end of the year. So for this to kind of happen around holidays really does suck. Funny enough, I got a pay raise. So it's like, how does that how does that work? How does that
Demon
work? You
time.
lay
That's crazy.
you lay people off, but then you raise some people's pay. Maybe I'm what you call
That
that?
boy better be sound like boy better be a pack mule, boy. We giving you this because we know we feel stack
Hey,
that
we finna
workload on
slap
you,
the
boy.
yeah, nah, man.
Yeah,
I
we
ain't with
need
that.
that.
I ain't with that. But it is
Yeah,
what it is. So I mean, you hear
yeah.
you hear some people say, um, the AI advancements is the reason. A lot of economic they try to dance around the economic part, but I do
Mhm.
think a lot of it has to do with the economy. I'll be interested in seeing what PPI is because if that comes in higher, that lets me know that the consumer price index is going to come in higher as well because
Mhm.
usually the producers they pass that increased expense down to the consumer anyway. That's just unfortunate. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have to see, bro. Yeah, but them not releasing the job numbers, that speaks volumes to me. So, yeah, we have to see what them PPI numbers is talking about though.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know what PPI is, the PPI data is pretty much producer price index measures changes in the selling prices received by domestic producers for their output. Just a key economic indicator used by businesses and policymakers to track inflation, forecast economic trends, and make contract adjustments. just another pretty much indicator that we kind of use to see where we are as far as inflationary measures and stuff like that, and see what our economy is. So those numbers come out Tuesday. Big data, big news for the week. It's going to affect the stock market greatly.
Yeah, I
So we'll
mean,
see.
and speaking of the markets, I mean, I know we did our charting session earlier today, but we're gonna touch on that a
Yeah,
little bit. But I'm starting to kind of see a little bit of recovery, at least in
yeah.
crypto, because it's
Yeah.
24/7.
Futures opened up green. I just checked them while ago. I just checked them while ago and let them know in Discord. At the time I checked it, S&P futures was up about 0.40%. Dow futures is up about 0.21%, and Nasdaq futures is up about 0.57%. So um they did open up green, so hopefully we'll start a recovery. I mean, it's a short week. We do have data coming out that could derail it, but hopefully we can start to recover and try to. I don't know. I don't know if we can close the month green, but at least not close the month as down as we are. But who knows, man? There's data coming out. We still got a lot of question marks around the market and data and.
We are not closing the month green. We are not closing the
Hey
month
man,
green, bro.
hey
Oh
man, it's
man,
crazy.
November has
Man.
been
December
November has been
December
tough.
got a chance. December got a chance. If this data can somehow come out decent, we get a Fed rate cut in December. You got companies like AMD reporting earnings next month. So hopefully, we get the right mix of some good catalysts and sentiment can change, but we'll see. As of right
I'm
now,
glad.
it's not looking good.
I'm glad you brought up um uh the rate cut.
Yeah.
This
What
would
do you think
if
it's gonna happen or not?
so at the beginning of the month, the probability of us getting a rate cut was like 24%. But
Hmm.
after last week, all that downward movement, the probability of us getting a rate cut jumped up to 70%. The thing about a rate cut, though, if they actually cut in December, which is when the next rate cut would be, they would be cutting without having the data. This would
Yeah.
be the next cut
Data don't come in.
without
Yeah.
them numbers. So I don't think that's smart. But at the same time, I
Why,
mean, they've
why,
been going off of BS this whole
why
time.
would they
So why
schedule
does
it
it
like
matter?
that? But why would you knowingly put the data out like a week or two after the decision is supposed to be made? No sense to me.
I don't I don't know, bro. A lot of this stuff don't really make sense to me. So um
You already
they
know.
usually like to
You
get the
already
numbers
know.
first.
Yeah, Jerome Powell ain't trying. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't do nothing, just because of the simple fact that he don't have. He can make a decision to cut rates or not cut rates, and then he get the pertinent data that he needs. And it could have said, dude, the entire opposite. Like he would look crazy. Like if it was me personally, I'm not making no decision without the data. I guess y'all better push this meeting back or push the data up.
Right. But at the same time, Jerome Powell low key fighting for his life right now. He don't even
I
know if
think
he gonna have a
he's
job.
getting replaced anyway. I mean, his turn about up. If I was him, I wouldn't even want this job no more. Honestly,
I
you
mean,
got
not
Trump
under
dissing this
not under
man every
Trump.
chance he get, every chance on every world stage. Man, it's crazy. This man be dissing this man everywhere, bro. It's ridiculous.
I mean, we kind of see a pattern here. Once you become useless in a way
Yeah,
to the agenda, you kind of get talked bad about because Trump is the one that hired Jerome anyway, and during Trump's first term. So it'd be like that. It'd be like that in the world of politics. I don't know how smart it would be to actually cut blind because that's essentially what they would be doing. Now the last cut, the Fed really wasn't on the same page. You had people who were like, "Nah,
mm-hmm.
we shouldn't cut," and you had people that was like, "Man, we need to cut more than 25 basis points." So
Yeah,
I don't know how things are going to play out this time around. We're just going to have to see. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's looking bad out there from an economic standpoint. I'm definitely starting to see more layoffs.
yeah,
Um, it finally hit my sector, so I'm not surprised at all by the aftermath of it. I mean, I'm definitely blessed to have a job still. I mean, this is why we kind of do this podcast and several other things, because that ain't necessarily the end all be all. But I mean, it kind of shows you like we not really the stuff that we talked about. We're directly impacted by too. We don't just talk about this stuff without having any type of like firsthand experience. So that's where a lot of this is coming from. Um, but now with that, let's go ahead and pivot over to kind of some market what could also impact the market. Um, from a crypto perspective, I don't know if y'all know this, but MicroStrategy is almost in the red with their Bitcoin buy-ins. So if Bitcoin don't recover and data come out and data don't look good and we dump to like the 70K range, MicroStrategy might be up out of here. So
He gonna be forced to sell. He
he
gonna
gonna
be
be
forced
forced
to
to sell.
sell.
So
That'd be
Michael
ugly
Saylor,
for Bitcoin.
not
That'd be
just
nasty for Bitcoin.
and this is why we say, man, we preach diversification. I know a lot of big names out there talk about Bitcoin only or this only or that only. Look, man, I love the markets. I love investing. I love crypto, but I'm smart enough to know you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And a lot of people shun diversification. When you hear diversification, it's not be spread too thin. It's more about strategical baskets that you can place your assets in. And yeah, everything's going to experience some ups and downs, but at least you can shield yourself a little bit by playing some defense.
Mm.
And that may be having some bread in a different asset class. Like last year, we were talking about gold. Gold was on a tear. Nobody before then was really talking about gold. A lot of big names, especially in the crypto space, were talking bad about gold. Hell, even in the stock industry, a lot of people were saying, "Why would you invest in gold? It's not really a growth vehicle." Yada yada
Yeah.
yada. During stocks was going down, Bitcoin was
Hey,
going down, crypto was going down, but gold was hey,
ripping,
gold was going crazy.
moving like a
So
growth stock.
right. So that's why it's important to kind of have your bread spread across in multiple areas. So like it's cool to have crypto, it's cool to have gold, and it's cool to have some stocks. Have a strategy for each, but just know diversification, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. But yeah, Michael Saylor, bro, it ain't looking good. It is not looking good. I kind of expect him to be the next catalyst anyway for a true bear market.
Mm.
Um, I do think he'll repeat
All right,
his. Go ahead.
you brought up bear market. So where is Bitcoin and let's just say Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP, since those are pretty much the one of the three of the top three biggest well-known cryptos. Are they in correction territory or bear market territory?
I would say more so correction than bear market, in my opinion.
So none of them have hit a beyond 20% yet.
Oh no, they definitely have. Here, I'm looking at it right now. So
Because
from the
bear
high
yeah.
to where it's at now, Bitcoin is down 30% from the high, almost 31% from the high. And I get a lot of people say bear market is usually 20% or more,
Yeah,
right?
20% or more from a recent peak. How soon how not how soon? When did they hit all time high? Well, it was recently, like a month or two ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they wicked to 126K last month. So what is that? November to November, October? Yeah.
I mean,
So
that's
I know a lot of people would say
that's
bear
more than a
market,
correction, boy. That's more than correct. That's a heavy sell off.
but see that's
Uh,
that's normal in crypto though. That is normal. That isn't it don't sound normal, but it's normal. Bitcoin
I
has done
guess
that every cycle.
I guess we'll have to see how long it lasts if they stay beyond that 20% for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah. I mean,
So
a
I
lot
mean,
has
if
happened
we
in a
get
month.
into yeah, if we get into February, March, we still ain't at this point. It still ain't, it shook back. we'll just have to see though, man. We'll just have to see, man.
I mean, you could have said we was in bear
But
market territory at the top of the year, or really before the election, because that's when it really
yeah, I
started
mean, it
ripping.
was. I would say we was, man. We had. I mean, just think we had stocks like AMD stuff for like $70.
Yeah, but look where they at now.
A lot of
And normally,
change. Like, yeah,
bear
a lot has
markets
changed,
normally
man. We had.
last a cool minute. They don't last for just a month or two. That's at least half the
Yeah,
year, or
they
maybe
usually.
even a year.
So bear markets usually last for about anywhere from uh on average about 9 to 14 months. 9 to 14 months with bull runs lasting about anywhere from 3.5 plus on bear. Like we currently in a bear a bull not a bull market bull cycle that started back in officially like 2023. So we've been in this bull market for almost like 3 years and some change. So if we was, I mean, it wouldn't be crazy if we had a bear market. If not now, then in the next 6 to 12 months. Because I mean, we've been in the bull market for a while now, for some years.
Yeah, I mean, a pullback is expected though. Like, I mean, we hit all time high,
Yeah.
126K on Bitcoin. You'd be kind of crazy to think it was just gonna keep going. So a healthy pullback. I mean, think about it, bro. We were at 126K and people complaining about it being at 87,000 right now. Like those numbers are
Yeah.
still kind of crazy. So, I mean, just this time last year, I think we was around 70,000. So, here, let's look. Just this year,
Because I pulled this up too. For like pretty much kind of like the Mag 7 stocks, they're how far below their all-time highs they currently are. So Apple, they're close. When I talk about these all-time highs, it's where the highest that they close, not they spiked up their intraday. I'm talking about where these stocks actually closed at. So the high for Apple, which is on October 31st, 2025, was $277.32. They are currently 2.1% below their all-time high. Microsoft, highest close on October 28th was 542.07. They're currently 12.9% below that all-time high. Nvidia, their highest close was 207.04. We know they spiked up intraday to about 212. But their highest close, 207.04. They're currently 13.4% below that. Amazon, November 3rd, they hit 254. They're currently 13.1% below that. Meta doing bad. Their high was 759.16. They're currently 21.7% below their high. Meta has been probably the worst performing Max 7 stock all year. And then Google, their high, which I think was just hit this week, actually, was 306.42. And they are just 2.2% below that. And then Tesla, of course, with 479.86, they're currently 18.5% below that. And the S&P 500 is they're up almost 13% year to date. So as much red as we've been seeing, the stock market ain't doing that bad. Ain't doing
yeah,
that
that's
bad. We
not
got some
bad to me.
outliers, but nah, it ain't doing that bad
I mean, if you
when you
want to
look at the
look at
numbers.
one that's doing bad on the stock side, look at Oracle.
Let me look
They
at there. I
cooked.
know, I know Meta trash, but they worse than you think they worse than Meta?
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy.
I could have sworn they was down at least 45%.
So if Bitcoin is down that much, I would assume that are XRP and Ethereum down that much from their all-time highs?
Let's see. All time high for XRP was 365.
Mm.
Just measuring that real quick. Yeah, XRP down
See,
43% from its all time high. Ethereum peaked at almost 5 grand, and it is currently down 42% from its all-time high. Ethereum has erased all of its gains since the bull run. Like,
That's crazy,
like
bro.
Ethereum has been the worst performer out of the top
Mm.
three. Because at least this time last year, let's go to the yearly chart. XRP almost there too. So
Are they green for the year though?
yeah, they still green for the
Year
year.
to date?
XRP is, but Ethereum is not.
See, I mean, and that's where you kind of get like some. All right, so let me ask you this: do you think the stock market, crypto market, is a indication of how the economy is doing? Is there a
Yes.
correlation there?
Yes. I think so.
So with that being said, just going over some of these numbers, because even we talked about Oracle. Yes, in the last month they're down 27%, but year to date they're still up 19.28%. So if we're talking about the stock market as a whole, S&P 500 is up almost 13% year to date. Let me look at NASDAQ real quick before I speak on that. NASDAQ is up 14% year to date. So if we have all these indices green on the year, we have a lot of most of your stocks green on the year. Your three top cryptos are still green on the year. Is Trump right when he says, "Hey man, I know I heard what y'all saying that people getting laid off, this going on, that going on, but the economy is booming."
Hell no.
Because did did
Hell
did
no. That's not
did
the
did,
only
did
indicator
but then
though.
I'm saying is the stock market, then we got to stop that correlation then, because if it's ugly in real life, but the stock market is going crazy, hitting new all-time highs and
That's not your only indicator. That's just part of the puzzle. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Year to date, all the asset classes look like they doing okay. But outside is not. Okay, the only thing that I think has gotten cheaper than what it was just a year ago is gas. That's the only thing that I can see that's gotten cheaper. And that's just me personally. Groceries still high, people getting laid off from work.
overly high.
I mean, anything, bro. Like any travel, like look at Vegas, bro. People ain't going. We was just there
Nah,
this year.
cost of the grit for us
like,
crazy.
come on,
Yeah.
bro. People are not going on vacations like they were just a year ago. They not saving. Delinquencies on home payments are through the roof. Delinquencies on car payments are through the roof. Credit card usage is through the roof. On top of people getting laid off, on top of everything still being expensive outside of gas. So yeah, like the stock market may be cool, but that kind of shows you that there's only a percentage of the population that has money to spend.
Yeah.
When the
So you
rich
think
and
that
the go ahead.
so would it be fair to say that the stock market isn't a true indication of how the overall economy is doing? It's an indication of how maybe the upper middle class or middle class and elites are doing. Most people ain't even in the stock market. So it's
Yeah.
like, but they be using that correlation to kind of say, oh no, the economy's fine. But I probably over half of the economy, I ain't looked at the numbers, but I would be almost positive that over half the economy ain't even in the stock, ain't even involved in the stock market.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think I forget where I read this, but I read something here recently that said that the upper class, upper middle class, and elite are becoming are basically taking up a bigger slice of consumerism than they normally do. So that tells you that money and available money to spend has shifted far left compared to where it was just not too long ago. Normally, consumerism is a upper middle class, middle class, and lower middle class type of thing, where you're buying a whole bunch of goods and services. Your tourism numbers are up, so your people are going on vacation. People just had a lot more expendable money, which is where the lower tiers of middle class, really all of middle class, kind of drove that. Now you're shifting more and more left to where only upper middle class, rich people, and the elite are able to spend money on these goods and services and go on trips and all these other things. It's not your regular everyday person that which makes up most of the population that has the expendable income.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to
Appa-
see.
Apparently, 62% of Americans own stock.
Probably through stock buy like their company stock programs,
Yeah.
but they don't have like actively managed.
Yeah.
There's no
Apparently,
way.
62% of Americans own stock. 87% of households earning 100% or more own stock, and only about 28% of households earning less than 40,000 are invested in the market. Older adults, those aged 55 and above, are more likely to own stocks than younger adults. I feel like these numbers bogus now because young people is buying stocks. Like this ain't what it used to be. This ain't that
To a degree. To a
since
degree.
2020. Since 2020.
Yeah, yes, we are. The younger demographic has bought stocks or some type of digital asset or something like that. But, bro, we have yet to experience a extended economic boom
Yeah.
like our grandparents did. Like, bro, the economy was popping after World War One and Two. We ain't experienced that. Great Depression,
Yeah.
like after everything got good, bro, the economy was booming after that. So all we've experienced is consistent war, financial crisis after financial crisis, um, cost of education is at its highest. Like it was high when we went. I can only imagine when what it is now. I don't even want to know what it is now because I know it's high.
Cost of education is high, and now back then, if you went to college and got a degree, you were gonna be up. You were gonna be middle class. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna make money. You're gonna be fine. Nowadays, you
Not
go get a
now,
degree. You go get a degree. You go get the degree. We're gonna give you, but gonna slap you with 60,000 in student loan debt, and then good luck finding a job, brother.
bruh. And I thought it was bad when I came out. People was telling me, "Oh yeah, I just signed for 40K, 40K,
40.
40K. What?
Hey man, I can't even. What again? We're not. You're not laughing at 40K, but it's just like for what college was for, especially if you are at our age demographic. I'm 30, you 29. So when we was growing up, it's like, hey, college, go to college, get an education. We both got college degrees. Go to college, get an education. It's gonna change your life.
Right?
$40,000 is not life changing.
No, it is not. And for people that went to college, they like you said, they racked up more debt than what their salaries that they were able to land with that same degree after college is able to pay for. So again, we not laughing at 40K, bro. I can't be mad at somebody that's trying to make it out here or somebody that's trying to provide for their family. Money is bread. You know what I'm saying? Like if you trying to put food on the table, all types of stuff, you gotta do what you gotta do. What all I'm saying is when you factor that equation in, like, hey, student loans was, a certain amount of dollars. Some people I know came out with like 50K in student loan debt. 60K student loan debt, 70K in student loan debt, depending on how long you went and what you was going for. So when you tell me that you got all this debt, but you was only able to land a job that is offering 40K entry level, bro, you're cooked. You're cooked. So that was when we were in college. These kids nowadays aren't even able to land a job. So I can only imagine what it's like now. So not only do you have all this debt that you just racked up, but you have no job to help pay it down or eventually pay it off. That's terrible. That's a terrible place. So you can't tell me the economy isn't a better place, bro. You just simply can't. You just simply can't. And using the stock market as the indicator or the indication that life is good is missing a whole lot of context. Whole lot of context. So, man, it's really not a whole lot going on in news besides the PPI. We got some
Yep.
the economic data coming out. Do we have
Mhm.
earnings coming out this week?
We do have some earnings coming out this week. It's nothing. It's no significant companies. I ain't gonna lie to you. No significant companies.
It's like
think
Workday.
let me
Like
pull it up because I
Workday got
did
earnings this week.
yeah. I did post it in the in the in the Discord. So we got Zoom, Dig Sporting Goods, Burlington's, Dell, uh yeah, no
Nothing.
significant company. No company just really means something in the stock market. I think Alibaba reports this week. But yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. It's not no pivotal companies. We got AMD. We got some big earnings coming up the first 2 weeks of December. So that'll be key. But nothing this week. It's a short week. The market
You
closed
said
Thursday
Dig
and Friday.
Sporting
So
Goods though, and
yeah,
another one. So like that
that'll
might
show
if
consumer
yeah,
sentiment
that's what I was about to say. That
for
might be
sure.
consumer spending. So if they come
But
in
it's
lower,
like
that just lets you know.
yeah, but it's like okay, we get Q4 earnings is what I would want to see because I want to see how was the retail spending for the holidays. That's gonna tell me okay if the retail that
Hey
holiday spending, as
yo,
we all know, retail that's the money season for y'all. So if that underperformed, that let me know. Full port.
this man
This man
Greg,
hopped in
bro.
the chat. Oh, shenanigans.
Hey yo,
Full port. What?
yo,
Greg, get out the
threw my concentration all the
port.
way
What?
off.
Nah, bro, but yeah, man. Dick's Sporting Goods, man. They got earnings. That'd be a good one, man. Just to check consumer sentiment, man. Consumer
Oh
sentiment around
man,
them. It did. Yeah. HP got earnings too. Uh yeah, nothing crazy though. No crazy earnings. It's a short week. That data coming out is probably the most important thing as far as data coming out this week. Um, and we'll see, man. I expect some volatility based on that data and whatever else Trump comes out with. It's a short week, so hopefully we can finish this week green at least. At
yeah, at
least
the very
just start to
least.
recover going into December. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully, futures is green, man. So it ain't looking like we. But that don't mean nothing because the
That
market
don't
be
mean
opening
nothing
up
because it
green.
can
Then next
flip.
thing you know, we then if you're not full
Yeah,
port,
I
you're
don't
not
know,
getting
man.
the Rari. This dude.
I ain't full port nothing. That's
Don't listen to
crazy.
G, man.
That's crazy, the full port. But all right, let's get on some charts, man. Let's get on some
Yeah.
charts. I don't know if you have anything that you wanted to chart.
Uh,
I got
not really because um a lot of these charts is just a lot of. I mean, I can look. Let me look at something real quick. It ain't really none that I was looking at in particular because I'm waiting on this data to come out to give me some real direction. If I take a move tomorrow, it's gonna have to be some good volume, but
yeah.
we'll see.
I'm,
I definitely ain't gonna be committing to these long term on those swings and all like that until data come out. But can you see my chart?
yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, so I'm gonna just look. We're just gonna look at Spy. We're just gonna look at Spy in Nvidia because just I like that one. So Spy, this is the 1 hour. So price closed at 660. Pre market. Um, how futures gap up. So that's good. And hopefully we can get back up to this 673 range from where we dropped from and continue to build. But as you can see, that 673 range, that 674ish, that's been a range, that's been a resistance zone that price has been respecting
Camera
for
all off.
pretty much. You said what?
No, go ahead. My camera all off.
Oh,
Ain't nobody told
for
me.
I didn't even see that. For like the last well, so this is Thursday and Friday. So we rejected here, came back up, rejected here. So we had the big drop and we made a higher low. So hopefully we can climb back up here, and test that again and start to climb up and get back in the right direction. But as far as now, we are still in a Uh, we in a downtrend.
Yeah,
We in
we
a
in a
downtrend. We in
downtrend.
a downtrend. I'm pretty sure if I went to like larger time frames, yeah, larger time frames, we starting to kind of range a little bit. Um, but yeah, man. So that just shows me on the higher time frames, and even then, actually, I still call this the start of a downtrend. This is the start of a downtrend as well. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We need to at least start to range and then make a move up. But we'll see. We'll see what the week brings. I think the data is going to be important into what goes on. Um,
Oh shit.
Nvidia is another one that I'll be watching. They're trying to. They need to recover. I really don't understand what's going on with Nvidia. I'm really befuddled. They had amazing earnings, smashed their numbers, beat revenue by $2 billion, guided revenue of 65 billion, beat every metric they possibly could. Had the CEO answered every question beautifully, answered all of the critics, all of this AI bubble talk. Um, it they
I'm
they didn't they didn't miss and
I'm glad you brought that up. Because do
yeah.
you think this accounting situation that people is bringing up actually has teeth to it?
I do not. And the reason I say I do not is because the whole accounting thing. So are you talking about the accounting in regards to the value of the chips that they're not writing off?
No, I'm talking about how like they're basically more accounts receivable and in inventory, which means that people are paying for these chips, but
Yeah.
not actually paying for them to be taken out of inventory. So when you up your accounts receivable, it looks like you have people indebted to you.
Yeah.
But if you're not taking it out of inventory, like I don't understand how that worked. Like
I mean,
it seemed like a bunch of
could it be could it be see this is the thing. They have so many like deals and partnerships and orders for in the future, like selling out stuff that hasn't even been produced yet or is going to be produced. They have chips, so you never really know when you get into all that stuff. I mean, you can't really tell. I mean, they could have stuff on the receivables. Okay, hey, this chip is coming out, or we're going to be producing this chip in 2026, and people are placing orders now, and they haven't received those products because it may be something that hasn't been delivered on yet by I mean, so it's a lot of factors and stuff that go into that. But until I see something, um, not from just general retail investors, because I mean, if a general retail investor could see it, I'm pretty sure people whose job it is to do those kind of things and different media and news outlets, even people like Michael Burry and a lot of other people that are short Nvidia. Until I start to see those people really say something about it, people that really have millions of dollars against Nvidia, I really ain't paying too much attention to it. I mean, we seen the earnings, and all I seen was great numbers, great guidance, great product, great strength, great domination in the sector, and from what I've seen, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. So until I see otherwise, then I gotta rock with Nvidia, man. But it's just crazy that even with those earnings, that the stock price is still being suppressed, man. And it don't make no sense to me that Nvidia could see the prices that it's seen all the way up to like what it cracked like 260, and
mhm.
Nvidia cannot even break above 200 and hold. It's it
Yeah,
don't
I
make
don't
no
know.
sense to me.
I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
You
We'll
still
have to
short
see because
Nvidia
I'm
from what
deaf.
you've seen in the last earnings?
Am I
Would you still
short
be short
Nvidia?
Nvidia? I'm saying, would you, if you're Michael Burr, would you still be short Nvidia from what you've seen and heard in the last earnings report?
So Michael Burry was 2 years early on the housing
Mhm.
crisis bubble popping. I believe he is early on this whole AI bubble thing. Michael Burry saw something that nobody else was seeing. A lot of people was calling him crazy. He was actually down significantly on his housing crisis play. And a lot of people was telling him to cut, 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 cut. but he didn't, and obviously it played out for him. So I don't know. I think when people like Michael Burry speak, even if they don't speak often, it's something to listen to.
Mhm.
Now, me, I'm able to watch this live. I'm able to watch him trade or make a trade in real time. So I'll be paying attention to it. I think AI definitely has a place. I don't think the technology is going anywhere, but with them basically stating why he's short, and it's because these companies are basically cooking the numbers, cooking the books
Mhm.
to try and demand these high valuations. I'm paying attention to it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to make sense of it myself, but I'm almost playing devil's advocate with internally. So I'm all for Nvidia. I think Nvidia is a great company. Nvidia's been around for a long time. They've produced some of the best gaming GPUs around before AI was even a thing. So they're definitely a powerhouse in that industry.
Yeah.
However, I definitely would not be surprised if AI had some type of bubble like experience where we see mass sell offs, which we kind of already have
Yeah.
in the space. Now, that's not to say that it won't recover, but I do think it's a bit saturated right now.
Yeah. I mean, you can see this where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I see
So
it.
yeah, currently we got them trying to recover their up. They're hopefully and it's see this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like they come down and test this range, and next thing you know, they'll be back at 190 and then they'll be back. So we need I think when the market sentiment does finally turn around, we'll see them break 200 and hold because they had great earnings, and I think a lot of investors got a lot of investors got excited about them and are still really ready to rally behind them. But with the market being so shaky, those buyers are kind of on the sidelines, just waiting for pretty much the floor to come in and buying to resume. But um,
I mean, these prices, and
spies at
barring
three
that
thirty
everything
nine.
is good, Nvidia at 180, 181 to take a swing to for it to be like 250 or maybe even 215 next year would
Yeah.
be a crazy
So
play.
this is the thing. I don't think that's a bad play at all, especially if you put it out like maybe in the year 2026, 2027. If you really want to give yourself more time, I don't
Them
think that's a bad.
contracts would be mad expensive.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, ain't nothing. But yeah, man. I mean, if you wanted to do that, I don't think that'd be a bad play. It's just, I mean, how the market is right now, you could just have to be mentally prepared for some drawdown to happen because, I mean, things are just shaky right now. But
Yeah, that is
QQQ, you
true.
got them up. You got them up $4.29, and overnight they doing good. Let me look at SMH, see what the chip sector doing. Chip sector doing good, 328. So chips is rising, S&P is rising, tech is rising. Just check that those indexes. Let me look at VIX. Let me look at VIX real quick. VIX is down 11%. Okay.
That's a good
But
sign.
yes, but we need to see VIX below $18. We need to see VIX get below $18 and I'll feel a lot better. VIX over $20 is still elevated to me, so I'm not. That's still we ain't out the woods at all. We at 23, almost $24. Incredibly high. Um, yeah, but I mean that's pretty much all I need to see. I really don't really care to look at the charts too much right now because I mean I pretty kind of know where the resistance levels is in the morning. I don't like to from just how the last 2 weeks has been going. I can't really get too excited about being green and overnight because we see it every time. We'll be green, and then as soon as the market opens, we'll get a barrage of selling and then close the day red. So we'll just have to
Right.
see how the market is, man. But like I said before, I want y'all to keep paying attention to VIX. Keep watching for VIX to get below 18. That's when you'll really start to see some recovery and really start to see buyers come in and push things to the upside, and you'll start to see some more new all time highs. But until then, man, we got data coming out. That's all, man. That's pretty much all I got, man. I don't know what you got as far as uh Bitcoin.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything like a VIX to pay attention
Mhm.
to, so I really got to be tight on the
That's really
technicals.
crazy that y'all don't got that, something like that at this point.
I really, I don't know. I don't know. That would be nice. It would make things easier. really just, but Bitcoin drives the market. So if Bitcoin doing bad, the rest of the market gonna feel it. Um, Honestly, Bitcoin has and not just Bitcoin, but even if you look at XRP, Ethereum, they're really respecting market structure. So we retesting this trend line on the monthly, retesting the 21 EMA right there. So there's that. If I look at XRP, same thing, retesting. You got a small trend line right there on the monthly time frame. I
Like
don't
y'all
know if
just
you
now
just
using that box of support.
yeah. Like I mean, so that's why I feel confident in a recovery. Now Ethereum on the other hand, I don't know what they got going. They
Them
kind of
boys just
ranging,
ranging. Yeah.
kind of ranging. So we gonna see, man. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, we still at 59.4%, kind of high. So I kind of expect that to. I don't know. If I want altcoins to start flying, this is gonna have to
Mhm.
get a little low.
They keep saying that Bitcoin price action is a precursor to what we can expect in the stock market. So I seen a lot of people say that, Bitcoin falling to the levels it's falling to is an indication that, people are becoming more risk off, and that, that could translate and move over to the stock market, and pretty much give us a pre-indication that, hey, the stock market is finna drop too, just like Bitcoin is dropping. Do you think how you feel about that?
I would agree with it. I would definitely agree with it. A lot of people used to say that Bitcoin and the stock market aren't correlated, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Anytime you see a massive move, especially to the downside in Bitcoin, you can see that in the stock market and vice versa. But I'm not really kind of similar to you. I'm kind of just waiting to see how these
Yeah,
numbers make the market react because just looking at it, we really just following market structure. I mean, there's nothing to
yeah,
really just go crazy about.
yeah.
I'm looking at the total crypto market cap. Um, this is including Bitcoin. So yeah, we just retesting at 21. So total two is excluding Bitcoin. Again, retesting that EMA right there,
Mhm.
following market structure. And then total three is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is just strictly altcoins. Again, retesting at 21. So I mean, I'm
It
not
ain't
really
nothing
see
crazy going on.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of downside pressure, especially over the last couple weeks, but I mean, it's following market structure. I'm not really seeing nothing crazy. So unless data come out terrible,
Yeah,
um,
I think we talked about that in the Discord on the live chart session this morning. And if you look at a lot of like if you look at SPY and QQQ and a lot of those indexes on their monthly, they look exactly like that. It looked crazy when you're looking at these drawdowns and these corrections on smaller time frames. But when you zoom out and look at it on like the monthly, our monthlies look like that last whatever time frame you just had up.
yeah, that was
So
more, yeah.
yeah, it was, it ain't it, the correction ain't that crazy. We ain't that far from these all-time highs that we've been hitting.
Nah, I mean, I know it's all scary and doom and gloom, but looking at
Yeah,
QQQ, SPX,
yeah, it's
SPY,
not that bad. It's not that
it's
bad at
not
all.
that bad. It's really not.
Nah.
So that's why you got to zoom out. That's why you got to zoom
Yeah.
out. Because sometimes it can seem way worse than what it really is. So, we just gonna have to see what the week, holds for us. It's a short week. Economic data still coming out though. I mean, that's really it on the charts. We had a nice,
Yeah.
a nice little live charting session earlier this morning. Went well. We had some new people in the chat that really have never looked at charts, don't know how to get to it. We have some people that are seasoned. So I think the group is gonna grow. So if you haven't already, definitely hit us for the Discord, and expect it to kind of be more exclusive moving forward. We probably gonna cut it off pretty soon. But that's really all we had today. Hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all enjoyed today's show. Not a whole
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
going on, but still something to talk about. And we'll catch y'all next week.
See y'all later, man.
All right.